Hi there. I wanted to show you what I was talking about yesterday. There was a hole back there. Not a hole, but yeah, well, this side there was not so much a hole as there was inside the wardrobe. That made my life a little bit of a living nightmare and misery. It was open, like yawning, like gawking, and it had to be sealed inside the wardrobe. This is what I mean, that I literally don't have any space for anything. What I'm holding here is paint. Ugh, just give me one seckie. Seriously, like you could not keep your hands off my clothes. Anyway, I can't fit anything off mine. This is how tiny the space is. Look at it. It's so freaking messy. Like, I don't live like this. I don't know what it's like to live like this, but I'm living like this. Nothing of mine fits, so therefore all of my stuff is in my car. The rest of it, my dusty gangster vehicle, whose last license disc, as you can see over here, I wasn't lying to you yesterday, it expired in 2014 on the 31st of October. That one is from, I was like silly like that. I didn't remove my, no, correction, not 2014, 2016, 31st of March. I renewed my license disc after I got my my pension money. Sorry, I lost everything in 2014. So the last time was 2016. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. 2016, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22. 6 years, I told you guys. Yeah, okay, the other one in the middle here got removed. The driver's license itself, I'll show you just now. But this is my car. Like, this is what it looks like, and as you can see, my cat's paws are all over it. It's really dirty on the outside, but I try to keep it clean on the inside because it's a storage facility for bed linen and clothes and whatever else I can for the life of me store. So what you're looking at here is a sheet. Is it like a duvet cover? Blah blah. That's the story of the life of Kakarabo. In terms of the tires, I ain't lying. Look at that. It's like totally dead. It's flat. It's the first ever car I ever bought. I would have probably bought a new one somewhere along the way, but you know, life happened. All the rest of the tires are somewhat fine, but the one in front there's also kind of sort of kind of flat. But mostly, like, because this is the one that's like totally on the floor flat. But you can see that one is also going to die flat. And if you get close enough, you will also see the cobwebs everywhere. And it's chilling next to another car that is entirely fine. And people imagine that nobody's going to be asking questions as to what's going on. And here's the other car tire. I don't know if you can see the cobwebs there too. Yeah, it's been like this for now. I don't know, it's been a minute. My stickers from Vits. Oh yeah, here's more cobwebs. Like, I can't deal. Okay, my stickers from Vits, as you can see, the last one, if I can find it here, is 2014. This one, 2014. That was the last time I was registered, and I can see it's written there part-time. I used to collect them because for me it was like a price, you know, they were like a collector's item. This is my life. I just got a deal. What else did I want to show you? Yeah, anyway. So my boots, where I put my shoes, are out here. They slept outside overnight because I had nowhere to put them inside. I hoped and crossed my fingers that there wasn't going to be rain. And by the grace of God, there wasn't rain. So this is where I hang my clothes, type thing. And the floor is what had to be cemented of the wardrobe, because outside you could literally, during the day when you open the wardrobe, you could see outside, you could see the sun piercing through. So rats could come in if at all there were rats. Lizards are a thing here, like a total thing. Spiders, which are the bane of my existence, because I have actually arachnophobia. For somebody who's been allowed to rot and gather cobwebs, it's really cruel to let me be in that situation. Granted that I've got arachnophobia, I've actually got a fear of spiders, and a crippling one at that. And in this environment, I've had to kill a couple of them. Like, you know, when you kill something like and you're freaking out because I have nobody else to come and jump in. I've even stopped putting my clothes in this joint in a neat way, because every time I redo the wardrobe so as to put everything in neatly, when I look for my things, like for a vest, a top, a short to work out in, I have to dig far away places to find it, and it takes me forever and a day to find it, and then I mess everything up again. So I stopped trying. So a lot of the times when I wear my clothes, they're even creased. Do you understand? back when I had my own apartment and everything, everything of mine was, I mean, it might as well have been color coded. Okay, I knew where my shorts were, where my panties were, where my bras were. I knew where my shoes were and what kinds of shoes were where. So my heels were a particular place, my boots were a particular place, my sandals were a particular place, my flip flops were a particular place. My squishy little cushy night slippers were in a particular way. Like everything had its own demarcation. Everything. I had this like 2-bedroom apartment with 2 wardrobes, and both wardrobes had a function. There was one section of a wardrobe that was for just bed linen, and even that was color coded. I knew where to get my pillowcases. I knew where to get my duvet. I knew where to get my fitted sheet. I knew where to get everything. My scatter cushions. Like, I am a big fat chunky fan of pillows, as you can see back there. So I used to know where to get what, and like without struggling. Like, you know how sometimes when you're looking for bed linen on the day when you're changing your bed linen, you're just like, oh, and you're like, oh, what to do? Like, oh, where is the sheet? Where is this? No, it was like military precision, the way that I packed everything. That's how life was in my apartments. I knew where my bathroom carpets were at. They were in the bathroom. I had this like cabinet underneath the bathroom where I could put bathroom carpets, and then I could also put my, like, you know, things that you use for the bathroom, like the soap dispenser, blah blah blah. They had a place. Everything had its own little cabinet. That's how I operated back in the day. And now everything of mine has to be squished up in this tiny little environment. When I work out, so I don't get embarrassed by the background, I have to literally move everything. Like, there's no amount of neatening that I can do in this environment because it's so cluttered. Do you understand? It's claustrophobia for days. So I have to move everything onto the bed so it can look like the table doesn't have anything on it. But actually what this desk looks like is this for the better part. That's how the situation here is. And I cannot just like do what I want to do without having somebody interrupting me. I did let you guys know, so I just closed the door now. That's how that situation is. Okay, now this, you can see my desk, like my study desk, the one that you just saw now. Crunch up, like, you know, I wrote yesterday that there are observations that people can make, like hints, you know, that this is a person that comes from some kind of prosperity somewhere. Because even when you look at the quality of my things, you can see that it's not just it's not just some cheap furniture. Like, look at this. I bought this from Corey Craft. This study desk is from Corey Craft. Very high quality. I've had it for a very long amount, for some years now. It hasn't really given me problems. This is where I put my cat's food, but right now I'm washing the plate. So this is what it looks like. You can tell that I've got very high quality furniture. This is my study desk from Coreycraft. My apartment that I used to own in Four Ways. You will see when there is no clutter just how gorgeous my furniture is and how it just flows with my environment and with the person in there. The lady in question, that would be me. I've got quite a few videos on YouTube. I might just publicize one and show you just like a snippet of that video so you can see the background of my apartments. What it is that people literally watched me lose. Okay? The chair over here, because I couldn't find a scrubbing brush and the right cleaning materials, it's so dirty that now I cover it, like the fabric of it is so dirty that now I cover it with like a bed sheet, this chair. But I also bought it at, it's closed now, some like really elaborate furniture shop that decided like was just so like I don't know, they closed, maybe they got liquidated or something, I don't know, but the stuff was really great. I bought that in Four Ways somewhere. I bought this bed. It came with my bed, the one back there, that the sleigh bed that's there with the pedestals. Yeah, it was like a set with the bed and the pedestals. So just by looking at the design here, look at the corner, my bed also has similar, everything's just so cluttered. Yeah, it has a similar sort of kind of finish. It was like one thing. What you're looking at back there is a mirror. It's a full body mirror that I have lain like in that way, like horizontally, because I had nowhere to put it. Like literally, this is just the way that I'm living. Like the little furniture that I do have in here, the rest of it is stored up like in family members' houses, and a lot of it has gone missing as a result. Anyway, whatever. I've got very high quality furniture. These are the things that people walk into and they make the observations of. Do you understand? The observations are made that this is a person that comes from somewhere. This is a person that used to have prosperity. Like, look at the quality of our furniture. It's not like the kind of furniture that you would typically find more Kuku, a shack, or a lowly, meager environment. I mean, this is not like Bradlow's or Joshua Doe Ellerines or something type quality, like freaking furniture, for crying out loud. This is like Coreycraft, this is Weatherly's, this is Rochester. This is really like, and I'm living with Coreycraft furniture in a shack. Whatever, okay? This mirror, I think I got it at, I think I went like, you know, one of those like street, like there are these people that sell ornaments, big fat chunky elephants and giraffes. Like if you go to Four Ways on the side of the road, they sell these elaborate art pieces. I think that's why I bought that mirror. I fell in love with it then, right? So some of my things are not necessarily from stores that are registered, but because I'm an artist, I know how to pick out stuff even from like Amahonchi and what have you. But the overall total look of my apartments was based on that. My carpets, if I could show you my carpets that I had to sell to eat, you would die. Like they had leather strips on them, leather, like real leather. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to make this long. What I'm trying to do now, I'm gonna have to put this in the washing machine because they decided to go and dirty my clothes. I've been trying to declutter this environment. I can't, literally, I don't have space for everything that I need. Everything that I need. Plus, many of my books are in here. Books as in, you know, literature. There's nowhere else for me to put the literature. So it's kind of like clouding this environment. It's cramped up in this tiny little space. And who in the world throws away books, guys? Nobody. And some of y'all might be like, why don't you store them in the house? I bet there's enough space. I asked once and I was given a little bit of beef, and some problems. Literally, with ample additional storage space in the house, I was refused access to that space because apparently I would clutter the environment with my shoddy looking things. Except, what do you mean shoddy? What do you mean? Like, just because I am living in a shoddy condition as a person, I've lost everything, I don't have a career, does not mean my furniture and my things are shoddy. My things can sit in your house and not wreak havoc. My bed linen is beautiful enough to sit in your wardrobe. What do you mean? That's why my stuff is stored in the car. Anyway, so I am about to paint the floor here with the paint that I have. But first I'm gonna have to probably go in Squalor with oh goodness, a rag, a washing rag. English. I have to, you know, I'm leaving South Africa, so I can't be speaking my languages where people don't understand what I'm saying and they click off my channel. I'm gonna have to find a washing rag to clean down here below, just the parts where it is that I can clean off, and then I'm going to use this paint. It's the only paint they have. I would ideally have liked to have gray. I have to wait for the paint to dry, so I'm yet again really just kind of crossing my fingers, hoping it doesn't rain, because it looks like my boots might stay outside, my shoes might stay outside overnight. And by the way, you see that bag full of boots and shoes and whatnot? It is about a fifth, 1/5 of all the shoes I used to own. Because there was a time when I had to sell my clothes, my shoes, and some of my bed linen and curtains and stuff like that. Casseroles in the house that I used to bank, like, you know, cookies if I baked or whatever, storage tins and whatnot. I had to sell them to eat. Yeah, anyway, I will see you later. I gotta get cleaning in this like little corner here so it doesn't look so dingy. I'm hoping the spider issue is gonna be eradicated because of that hole being closed. This is what I'm talking about, guys. I'm just freaking out right now. Like, I've got arachnophobia. I do. I gotta like deal with this level of fear in dealing with, I mean, it's like a spider just dangling over there, and I have to pick it up with my own bare hands. With my own bare hands. Look at the cobwebs. All of this happened because Lord have mercy on me. Because the outside was piercing into the inside and spiders could just crawl in. This is where my shoes were at. Whatever, man. Hands up to feel through me. You're being too unfathomable in shape, passion, and ways. But always stays low. As we take a step back, our hearts like you know, fading moves slow. Always stays low. As we take a step back, our hearts like you know, fading moves slow. Nature's way. Trophies, better back, from different ribs. And though myself, and my bright lights, distracted by nail and rain. I just can't set my mind on it, keeping me away from you. But always stays low, as we take a step back, our hearts like you know, fading more slow. Always stays low, as we take a step back, our hearts like you know, fading more slow. Hey, I'm done painting. I'm not going to do a second coat, and I also was not trying to be perfect because who cares, okay? Just as long as it doesn't look nasty and there's no cement on the floor, because my clothes, my shoes are going down there. And that's the final product. Yeah, that over there, it's messy. It's just the way my life is, okay? Try to ignore it or don't. Have mercy. Yeah, so that's what the situation down below looks like. I don't know how long it's going to take to get dry. I'm thinking a day, maybe two. My boots, my shoes are going to be outside the whole time. I just pray to the Lord that it doesn't rain in 2 days. Just give me 2 days, Lord. And then I'll put my shoes back down there. Yeah, type thing. So it's neat enough and it's clean enough for my things to go in. And that's where the spider was at, this establishment. Let me turn the camera around. Did it white, and I hope, of course my paintwork is not that great, but who cares. I hope that there's not going to be any more issues in the future, or rather I kind of hope I get out of here more than hoping there's no more issues. They keep patching up this place, panel beating it. At some point, this floor, there was like wood on the floor, and it got eaten by termites, and it was making a noise like Jumanji, like the wilderness, like awimbawe, awimbawe, and I was freaking out. I could literally hear stuff crawling underneath the floor. It took me, literally, it took the floor almost caving in for them to finally like rip it out and put in tiles. I come from that kind of journey, okay? Like, I had a jungle underneath here that I could hear at night while I slept, crawling underneath. And here, there was light piercing. Like, I opened the wardrobe one day, tried to grab some shoes, and then saw that, like, the sun was piercing through there. I reported the matter, and now it's been corrected. They keep patchworking this shack. This is where I live. And I've been living here now for, I think it's 3 years. I've been moved from pillar to post, but in this little tiny space, it's been about 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years. Let's say 3, because I was already in here when coronavirus hit, and that's been going down for about 2 years. Yeah, okay. So this is the space from which I like come. Look at how cluttered everything is. Even when I try to make it neat, it just like nothing comes together. Look at the electrical wiring all over the show, so that my Mac can operate, so that everything, like what in the world? What in the world, right? What in the world? And my own family members don't care that this is the living conditions. These are the living conditions of a 37-year-old woman, and not just any woman, but she was born to a middle-income family, and none of her family members are this poor. I would understand if I came from a poor family and this was how I lived, but I don't. And I'm literally the only one among them that lives like this. Only one. This corner as well also had to be painted. They took out that tile because the door wouldn't open. This is the house that my family lives in, and this is the one that I live in. This chair, I'm going to put it back in there because I need a chair. Like, this is where I live. Do you see that tape over there? I had put it there because lizards kept on crawling into my space and whatnot, so I try to seal that environment. It's been raining, and so it's falling apart. This is my life. This is how I live. Like, what? Little Mkook, right? One of my relatives live here. You know what I like to compare myself to? Just over the M1, there's Santon, and it's all Lani, and it's all bougie, but then you walk, like literally just a walk over a highway, and it's like informal settlements, squatter camps, and just abject poverty. I live like that. La Emva, Santon, somewhere, Grayston Drive. And then you go back there. Hello, I'm in Alex Mkukwini. There at the very beginning of Alex, where they start, where there's yet to be a face break. That is how I live. And that is how South Africa generally is. Literally, I represent a South African issue. This whole situation, Nyaga, is very similar to South Africa at large. Because we are the country with the highest rate of inequality, where it is that you will find these random barriers, these little borders that separate extremely affluent people with extremely poverty-stricken people in the same neighborhood. The same problem dwells just down the road here, where there's deep slot on the other side, shacks, informal settlements, Mikuku. And then you jump over and there are all these Lani freaking mansions in Remsach. Only in South Africa where you will find that level of, like, obvious inequality, separated by just like a road. Just a road. I believe though the one Yakor Remsach is separated by what is that street? It is it's the road in Nick Diedericks, right? Not Nick Diedericks, but the Clearwater Road. I keep forgetting the name. Whatever. But then Bayers Nadia, thank you. Bayers Nadia. It is separated by Bayers. Well, it starts out something else and it becomes Bayers Nadia. It's separated by Bayers Nadia. The Bayers Nadia street road, like patch of land, strip of road there, separates deep sweat, abject poverty with what do you call this? With Remsach affluence and middle, what do you call this? Maldersdrift affluence. Another one that is just dark and key, just right here in Johannesburg, not far, like just 15-minute drive. Northumberland separates Bel Air and North Riding with the beginnings of the squalor of Cosmo City. Like that is South Africa for you. Like, you are going to have these things all over the show, and they don't even have shame to do it in their own backyards. Where this here is the Cosmo City squatter camp and informal settlements. This here, sorry, is Bel Air. Hello, welcome to North Riding. And this side, hello, welcome to what is next game? To a Cosmo City. This here is Diepsloot. And this here is Muldersdrift or Remsig or whatever you want to call it. This here is Alex Ebos, what's going on? And this here is Sandton, hello. This here is Dobsonville, where like there's hardly any electricity, all cluttered, it's all clamorified and what have you, with like traffic of people in just very harsh living conditions. And then this side is just in the beginning of Roodepoort. What's going on? Only in South Africa.